For more on this, we're now being joined by Brigadier General Dr. Meir Elron, a senior researcher at the Institute of National Security Studies at Tel Aviv University. Brigadier General, thank you so much for joining us on WION. It's hard to imagine that a year has passed since that barbaric attack against Israel. The question many are asking is, has Israel managed to, first of all, eliminate Hamas? And as of today, also rockets were being fired from that enclave as well towards Israel. What is the situation and how do you assess it?
Well, this is really a very significant day for us, 1 year after the barbaric attack of Hamas, which caused the slaughter of 1,200 civilians and military people in the southern part of Israel, lots of injured people, and of course 250 people were kidnapped. This was a major shock, a national trauma, a collective trauma in Israel. And I can say that 1 year later, we're still within this traumatic situation, mostly because the war does not end. It has to end because the war has expanded also with an aggression of Hezbollah 1 day after the massacre of October 7th last year. So we are stretched into two fronts in a very difficult and challenging kind of a war. And let me put it this way, it can end tomorrow, and it should end tomorrow. The responsibility for the end of the war is totally that of Hamas on one hand and its leader, Yahya Sinwar, who is out of contact. And the same thing goes for the leadership of Hezbollah that has been dismantled in the last weeks. And this is the only way for us to finish the war. I mean, they continue the aggression against Israel, and they take full responsibility for this situation, which we need to end on the two sides. It's a major tragedy that has to be ended.
And how do you see Israel's next move with the bombardments in Lebanon, also bombardments from Lebanon into Israel, and the readying up to retaliate against Iran possibly? It appears that Israel is making plans for that. Can you talk about that and your experience as a brigadier general? How do you assess Israel's next move?
Well, again, as I said before, we don't need this war. We didn't start it. We have no interest in this kind of a war. And it's a major burden on us. It's a major challenge for our citizens and for our military. And unfortunately, the situation is totally deadlocked. And there is no way for us to stop it unilaterally because we are under constant attack on various fronts. And the last one, of course, was the Iranian attack on October 1st, which was a very, very sincere kind of a assault of ballistic missiles, 181 ballistic missiles that were launched against Israel. And Iran has to pay for that as well. So we are surrounded with a very dire situation. And I must say that we don't have any interest in the expansion of this war. We need it to stop. But the problem is that the other side, the three sides that are fighting against us, apparently have no interest to stop that. And this is a tragedy, not only for us, but I think to a large extent also for the people of Gaza, the people of Lebanon. And I hope that this will not be the case also with regard to the people of Iran. And I think that something has to be done about that. I'm very pleased with the fact that the United States is trying to do its utmost to bring about a pause in this situation. But apparently it is rejected by Hamas, by Hezbollah, and of course also by the Iranians. So we are at a dead end here. And I cannot tell you that I see a very bright horizon coming any time very soon. But I think that it is important to bring it to an end. I think that the only way for us to bring it to an end is to exert pressure on the other side so it understands, the leaders over there understand that this is the only way for them to stop firing at us, it stops striking us with missiles, with rockets, and with different kinds of high trajectory weapon system, causing very, very severe damage to the Israeli population and to our military. So it has to stop, as I said before, it has to stop sooner rather than later.
Yeah, a grim reality indeed, and it doesn't seem like there is any light at the end of the tunnel, coupled with a very somber day in Israel, notably for the families who have loved one in hostage and in Hamas captivity as well. Dr. Mir Elron, I appreciate you speaking to us today. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.